Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Dad's Expensive Hobby.
What's up?
Today I'm reviewing the X-Men 97 Emma Frost from Marvel Legends. A couple months ago when this wave was first announced, she was the first figure to sell out, so I'm expecting big things from this figure. But let's get started with her package. It's just like all the other packages from this wave. Nice big window on the front showing us everything inside, and a nice cartoon image of her right here on the left. On the back, again, it is a nice figure image, looks pretty good, and it shows us everybody else in this wave. But that's enough about this package. Let's get her out of the package and take a closer look at her. Okay, fresh out of the package, I gotta say, she does look really darn good. She's done well, but there is definitely a few things we need to discuss. But first things first, let's see how tall she is, and then we'll compare her to some other figures. To the top of her head, she is right at 6.5 inches. It seems like all the female figures are 6.5 inches anymore, which would make her 16.5 centimeters. I'm going to say that works because I don't know how tall she is actually supposed to be on the show. But anyways, let's stand her next to the rest of the X-Men 97 wave and see how they look. Okay, first up here she is next to the new Jubilee, and she's taller than Jubilee, and they look really good next to each other. I actually think her cape looks a lot better than Jubilee's jacket. And here she is next to the new Sunspot, and she's taller than him. I don't know how tall Sunspot's supposed to be, but I'm going to go ahead and say I guess she's supposed to be taller than him. I don't know. And here she is next to the new 97 Logan, and he's short, so I have no problem with her being taller than him, and they look pretty good next to each other. And lastly, here she is next to the Cable figure, and this is my favorite out of the line so far, and they look really good. He is taller than her like he definitely should be. Now for accessories, she doesn't come with a lot, just like this line doesn't, but what she gets is pretty decent. She comes with 2 head sculpts. She comes with like a neutral face on her in the package with her hair just kind of straight down, and it looks pretty good. And she's also got a kind of a smirking face with her hair kind of being blown in the wind, and it looks pretty good. I'd have to say it's probably my favorite of the 2. And she also comes with 4 hands. She comes with 2 fist hands on her in the package, and they're nothing we haven't seen before. And she also comes with 2 kind of open hands with 2 different little expressions out of them, and they are definitely nothing we haven't seen before. But overall, these accessories aren't too bad. Now for aesthetic, overall she has a nice look to her, I'm not gonna lie, but I kind of want to do this in 2 segments. I'm going to take her cloak off of her and go over it, and then we'll go over the body without the cloak on it just so you can see everything. So give me just a second here. Pop her head off just like that, and there goes the cloak. The cloak looks pretty good. It's nice flexible plastic. It has a nice sculpt to it. There is no shading throughout the cloak. Fuck. And that's unfortunate. And the fur around the top right here, it looks good. It's sculpted nice. It could use some dry brush and some wash. They gave it some kind of contrasting kind of paint throughout the rim of it here that is quite honestly not done that well. I do have to say it's not done very well. It's kind of splotchy in spots. And also this little jewel right here, if you compare it to the image on the front of the package, the jewel is done very small in comparison to how I think it's supposed to look, and it's not painted very well. It kind of looks like a ladybug that's just on the front there, not gonna lie. But overall it's not too bad. And there's also around the rim or edge, whatever you want to call it, there's some splotchy paint work going on, like right through here and up down through here. So overall it could be done a lot better, but it's not bad, I suppose, for what it is. It does have a nice matte finish. Now the rest of the figure looks pretty darn good as far as looks are concerned. She again has a great matte finish on her. The face, it's kind of photo real and kind of not all at the same time, but it looks great. The eyes and the lips look really good. The shape is fantastic. The hair looks really good. The hair could use some shading and some wash and dry brush. It's almost like there's a faint hint of it in the hair, but it's not enough for me to really kind of call it that, but it does look pretty good. Mine's got a little kind of splotch spot right there on it. I don't know what that actually is, but that's not that huge of a deal. The little choker or whatever around her neck is not painted very well. I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
How dare you!
Her skin tone and just the shape of the figure, she looks really good. Like I've said before, nice matte finish all over. So she looks as just as a figure really nice. The corset is done really well. The eyelets and the laces in the corset look fantastic. They are done really well. The legs, the little pinstripe down the front of the legs looks really, really good. It's done nice and, you know, crisp, and it's sharp, no blotchiness or bleeding or anything in it. Now, unfortunately, on the corset, on the image on the front of the package, the corset should have this same lining, and it does not.
We're screwed.
So that's unfortunate. That kind of sucks. The gloves on both arms, there's no paint or anything on them. They're just colored plastic, and they look good enough, I suppose. Her little high heels, they actually don't look too bad. They don't bother me. The feet seem a little small, but they're like up on the toes. Maybe that's kind of what's giving it that look. She's got a nice little cake on her right there. Just her build and her shape is very good. I really, really like it. I like the sculpt of the clavicle and stuff up there. She looks good overall as a figure. Now, her articulation isn't horrific either. Let's just start with her head. She'll look down really, really well. She'll look up pretty good. But basically, she's just going to kind of wiggle. That's not real nuance up there. And that's because they've put her on that ball peg disc hinge kind of thing, like they always do, unfortunately. But it's a nice big ball, so it does give a better appearance of nuance, but it's still not. And I wish they would move away from that joint. But anyway, no neck joint like usual with the Marvel Legends. Her shoulders will go up above 90 with no problem, so I like that. Full 360. Now, the bicep swivel, it does function, but if you can see that, the cut through it looks like teetotal crap, and I hate that. It's kind of that same concept of when they do a shin swivel and you move it and it kind of looks sliced up. That doesn't look very good. Now, double jointed elbow that's pinless, tons of range, and actually doesn't look too horrible because she's kind of got a little skinny arm, you know. Her wrist is on a hinge like normal. Now, down here in the abdomen, she has no abdominal break, and she also has no ab crunch, which would have tore the sculpt up. But what she has is some kind of twist. I can't move the corset enough to really see what it is, but you get very, very little twist or anything and no lean. So a lot of dynamic posing you are not going to get out of this figure. She is basically just designed to kind of stand there and look pretty, and that's okay because she actually does a pretty decent job of it. Now, her legs. Pretty much a full split. That's pretty good, and it's just typical ball peg technology up in there. Nothing crazy, so I like that. She will do a nice front kick with no problem whatsoever. She has a thigh swivel that kind of hides in the fact that, like, the boot, whatever you would call this, up to the thigh like that, kind of hides it in plain sight, so that's done pretty well. Pinless double jointed knee, tons of range, and the proportions look like they're pretty decent, so I like that. Thankfully, they did not give her a shin swivel, so bravo, Hasbro there. Obviously, her ankle is a hinge, and the foot will go all the way down, and pretty much to get her to stand up, it's going to be all the way down most of the time anyway because she's wearing a high heel. It'll come up a little bit, and check out the range on this ankle rocker. That is like full-on like skateboard injury level range with the ankle rocker right there, so it's definitely, her ankle would be rocked. And she does have a peg hole in the bottom of the foot with no toe hinge. Okay, final thoughts on Emma Frost here. I can see why she sold out first. This is actually a pretty good figure, particularly aesthetically. She looks really, really good. She probably overall looks the best of all the figures, and I don't just mean that like she's the most attractive character. This figure just in hand does look pretty good, even with some sloppy paint here and there. The main bones of the figure looks really good. Her accessories aren't bad because she's just supposed to be a pretty, pretty character. So, they gave us a second head sculpt that looks really good, and some hands. That's not too bad for a $25, $27 figure, how much ever she was. So overall, I'll give her a B. She's a solid B. This is a solid figure, and if you need an Emma Stone for something like a Hellfire Club diorama or something like that, you'll definitely want to pick this up. You don't want to miss her if you're so inclined. Anyway, that's all I've got for Emma Frost here. Subscribe, like, hype, all that good stuff like usual, and click on that video that YouTube just recommended down there for you. They think you'll like it. All that said, this has been Dad with Dad's Expensive Hobby, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.